Coming up on Celtics Today, Jaylen and June, what Brown did for Boston in Game 1. And that game Sunday, it was art. So is this. Celtics fans showing their creativity. And stats behind Jrue Holiday, ironically making the Mavs work really hard to score. Celtics Today, let's go. Folks, what do you say we run that back from Game 1? That would be nice.
Let's do it again.
That would be nice. Thanks for joining us here on Celtics Today. Drew Carter, Marc D'Amico. Thanks for joining us for the second ever edition of this show. Game 1 went so well after we launched Celtics Today, we decided to just do it again.
Had to come back, and it seemed like the people loved it. We appreciate everyone tuning in for the first show on Thursday. We had it out on YouTube. We had it out on Facebook. It's going out in the same places today, and hopefully everyone enjoys. Make sure you send us some comments in the comment section because we're going to be talking about them in future episodes.
And the comment we want to hear from you is which one of us is wearing the cooler bomber jacket?
We all know what the answer is already, so don't even worry about it.
And it is bomber season. Why are we wearing bombers? Because the Celtics were bombs away in Game 1, baby. 16 three-pointers for Boston. At one point, they led in the first half by almost 30 points. Held Dallas to just 7 threes of their own. Kristaps Porzingis was incredible in Game 1. Awesome return from KP and really a full team effort. You want to watch the highlights?
Yeah, let's do that.
Because I certainly do.
I think I've watched them 10 times already, but let's do it again.
Watch the full game a bunch, but this is Game 1. It's Thursday night at the Garden. Celtics in those beautiful Bill Walton warm-up shirts. They had an awesome moment of silence for him before the game as well. Really classy move by the organization. And then Kristaps Porzingis, speaking of Celtics big men, 11 points in the first quarter and just 7 minutes off the bench.
Out-of-body experience is what I called it after the game. He was laughing because he couldn't believe he was making all these shots.
That's a bomb
as well.
30 feet.
Insane. He could not miss. He could do no wrong, and that is what lit the fire under the Celtics.
And not only offense, but defense, too. He had 3 blocks in the first quarter. This is a chase down block from a 7'3" guy.
I thought for sure this was going to be a foul as this play was developing. Nope. Kristaps Porzingis could do no wrong.
Jaylen Brown. This was a cookies and cream game. JB goes for 22, which led the way for the Celtics. And, I mean, of course, the highlights are incredible, but the fact that the Celtics' leading scorer had 22 points shows you what a balanced effort this was.
Balanced attack. It's been like that all season long. You never know who's going to take over a game. And within this game, they had multiple players take over at different times. And there's Kristaps Porzingis laughing of him making shots that no one thought were going in.
He was bringing the good vibrations. Jaylen Brown, a little pilfer in the punch. Celtics, it seemed like they were going to bury the Mavericks in the second quarter. Jason Tatum did a lot of distributing, rebounding, a little bit everything. He had 16 points of his own. Just a dominant first half. Second half, Mark, is where things got a little dicey. Mavs cut it all the way to 8 points.
Listen, they've got 2 great players and some great role players. You can never assume that the game is over. Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic got cooking. We see a great move from Kyrie here, and they got back into the game.
They did. Luka, doing Luka things, not super efficient from him, but did go for 30, which he always does. That's the 3 that cuts it to 8. And at this point, Luka's feeling it. Celtics fans are wondering, how are we going to respond? How's a 14-0 run? That's pretty good.
Spurred by this play by Jaylen Brown. We're going to dive into this a little bit deeper later in the show, but this defense from Jaylen Brown is what ignited the offense at the other end.
And the building was on fire at this point. Tatum with the 3, late third. And then here's more great defense from the Celtics. Holiday from behind. Brown protecting the rim, looking like a center.
He is a rim protector now, huh? Two-way player. That's what he is.
He comes back, hits the 3 on the other side. There's what you're talking about with the two-way. And then JB with a little kiss for the crowd. Usually we see JT do that.
JB claims that he was the first person to do it. We don't have to go into that debate, but he says that he was the guy who came up with the kiss of death.
Ultimately, the Celtics win Game 1, and just really an impressive performance all around. What I'm most impressed by is actually the defense. With Luka and Kyrie, you know about what they can do. One of the most talented scoring backcourts of all time. And the defense leads to the offense. Celtics played with so much force and tempo, especially early in the game. That's what really stood out.
Coming into the series, Drew, I said, what is going to make the Celtics win this game and this series? In the last series against Indiana, we saw in the close games, those final few minutes, they locked up on defense. I mean, there were a couple of games where Indiana barely scored during the final 2 or 3 minutes. I said, if the Celtics can come in and play with that intensity and that level of effort throughout an entire game and series, there's no way that they lose. And we saw that in game 1. They were awesome on defense. The effort was like through the roof. They didn't play the best game, which is actually kind of crazy.
Right.
I think they were up by 29 points. They could be better offensively, but that defensive effort, I don't think they can lose the series if they play at that level.
Yeah, teams that win game 1 of the NBA Finals win the series 70% of the time.
I like those odds.
Just for some context here, folks, the Celtics win the Eastern Conference by 14 games. And they're 13-2 so far in the playoffs, which matches their best start in the postseason in franchise history with 1986. And that team was pretty good.
Yeah, that team was pretty good. You want another great number?
Please.
This is Sunday today. The Celtics are 12-0 on Sundays.
Oh!
Undefeated on Sundays.
All right.
Lucky number 13 coming later?
I would hope so.
I hope so.
I would hope so. That's game 2. So you've heard our thoughts on game 1. And, of course, everybody would love to hear more of that, but they really want to hear from the players and the coaches involved. It's time for Small Bites. So Small Bites, in case you missed it, on our first show on Thursday, it's where we give you a little interview clip or press conference clip from a player or a coach with the Boston Celtics. And what do we got on this one? Jason Tatum talking after game 1?
Yeah, I got to throw it out because we didn't say it last show. This is the Tapas version of sound bites. We're going to give you small bites. And this is Jason Tatum right after that game 1 victory talking about the Celtics defense and how great they are and how deep they are at that end of the court.
What makes our team really special is we don't have guys that we hide on defense, right? Bigs and guards, we switch. We take on the challenge of individual defense. Essentially, like if you want to play on our team, you have to be able to guard, and everybody knows that.
We don't have to hide anyone on defense, he said. And that's what this team brings to the table is versatility on defense. Like, they can switch 1 through 5, and they did. We talked about this on the last show. I didn't know if the Celtics were going to switch with Kristaps Porzingis and Al Horford playing center against this team with Luka and Kyrie. They did switch, and that's the versatility that they bring to the table. 1 through 5 on the court at all times. They can switch, and they are comfortable. Even Sam Hauser. Yeah. Jrue said it after the game. All of our guys can defend, right? But they've got every single player who's on the court can defend, and that is something that not many teams can bring to the table.
You got 2 all-defense guys in the backcourt. You got a guy in Jaylen Brown who probably should have made an all-defense team.
No question.
And really wanted to.
And he proved that during game 1.
We saw it in the highlights with the blocks and the perimeter defense and the steals. Jason Tatum, when he cranks it up, can be at that level as well. And you mentioned Al Horford to me. Maybe the most impressive defender from game 1. The Mavs shot 1 for 13 with Al as the primary defender. He turned 38 this week.
And everyone was talking in the last round about how he was the Pacers were going at him with the pick and roll.
Yeah.
And he's clearly figured it out. He had a great game, as you said, the numbers right there. But if the Celtics defend at that level, I just don't see how they can lose 4 out of 7 games. And now it would have to be 4 out of 6.
And that's the other element of Porzingis coming back is when Al can play, 20 to 30 minutes as opposed to 30 to 40, you see a vintage Al Horford performance like this. I think the 10 days rest really helped with that as well. Porzingis protecting the rim. Luka Doncic, 1 assist. Mavs 9 assists as a team. Celtics had that many blocks as a team. And the Mavs made, here's a stat, Mavs made 205 passes in game 1, which is their lowest as a team since that stat started to be tracked 10 years ago.
Wow.
205 total passes. That's what happens when you stay home. You don't open up any of those windows.
And they've got 2 great isolation players, maybe the 2 best isolation players in the NBA in Kyrie and Luka. So they are going to be an isolation-based team, but when the Celtics can man up defensively and not help, which it appears that they're not going to do that. They're just saying, whoever's matched up with Luka, whoever's matched up with Kyrie, you're on an island and you got to do a great job. And that's what these guys can do. So, to your point, it takes away a little bit of the ball movement of a team like Dallas. But I will say this. I do not expect that team to shoot as poorly moving forward in the series as they did in game 1. They're going to be better offensively.
You only made 7 of 27 threes in game 1, Dallas did. So if you're a Mavs fan, you're probably expecting that to turn around a little bit. But ultimately, outside of maybe an 8-minute stretch, end of the second, beginning of the third, the Celtics dominated game 1. And we'll see what happens tonight in game 2. We've got more Celtics Today coming up right after this.
Game 1 of the NBA Finals is history, and it wasn't close. No! That throws it down with violence and thunder with the right hand. Clean strip of Luka, flies in for the right hand slam. Pivot a little bit, turns the corner. He's got a lane to the basket. He flies in and slams it with 2 hands. Now Horford sets the screen. Tatum rocking a 3. Oh, got it! Richard shovel back to Porzingis. Having a trail three. Got it. Jrue Holiday into the front court. Floats a pass out to the corner. Hauser off balance three, and that's good. Jaylen Brown flies with a two-hand slam. Ball goes Tatum spins. Attacks two-hand slam. Wow. Kyrie cannot guard Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown, and he's got three.
All right, social time returns for Game 2. The energy was super high at the Garden in Game 1, and a big reason why Celtics in-arena host Melisa Valdez got bringing the energy to the studio again. All right.
All about the energy.
It's all energy
I'm
in
still
this
so
segment.
hyped from the last game. Can we do it tonight again, please?
Yes, please. Actually, let's take it another level.
Agreed.
That's what Jaylen Brown.
Agreed.
You're
We
gonna
need
do
the
your
Garden
job.
to be loud.
It's
That's
our
what
gas
JB
station
said.
versus their gas station.
That's right. Social media has been buzzing from the Celtics Nation, you guys. Everybody is excited. Let's see what they're talking about.
Let's go. What do we got today?
First up, of course, we've got Homer Simpson sleeping like a baby. This is a post from @RealBostonMedia. 1-0, 3 more to go. It is different here. And of course, he's rocking the Celtics fitted. He went to sleep so happy that night.
Wasn't this all of us on Thursday
yes,
night?
Well,
yes.
not me. I didn't sleep.
You
I was
didn't
so
sleep. You were
excited.
so jacked
The
up.
adrenaline was still going. I know, that's how we all
He's
felt.
dreaming of Porzingis 30-footers.
That's right.
When I put my head down at 4 a.m., I think this was me. I think this
Did you
was
have it fitted on, though?
Yeah, we're-
No, I didn't have it fitted.
I think it was Chance the Rapper who said, "I'm in love with my city. I sleep in my hat."
Hey,
That's all of us.
and that's Boston for us. Let's
And
check
there's a
out the
meme.
next post.
What do we got next?
Up next, we've got an incredible post by a very talented artist. He is Marc Cannell, Fine Art. And over here, you see him drawing this incredible drawing
This is insane.
using acrylics of Jason Tatum on a Jason Tatum jersey. Check out the detail in this.
That's the amazing thing. Is
This
the
is
basketball.
incredible. It's almost as if it was a real portrait.
It is like the shadowing, like
Wow.
the tattoos. I mean, 100%. It looks like a photo of Jason Tatum.
This is pretty
This guy is
incredible.
incredible. You got to check out his work. Marc Cannell Fine Art
Yep.
on Instagram.
Hey, Mark, please put this for sale because
I know.
I'll
Or
spend
hopefully
an
it would be
absurd
real dope
amount
if he
of
actually got to gift that to JT himself. How iconic would that be?
we got to line this up.
Okay,
We gotta
Okay,
line this
we're
up.
gonna make this happen. Very talented. Congratulations, Marc Cannell. Let's check out the next post, you guys.
What's up next?
Wow.
More art?
Yeah, speaking
More
of
art.
fan
And
art?
speaking of art, of course, we had such a great game, the last one, of none other than the unicorn himself,
This is
Kristaps Porzingis, channeling that superpower right over here. Did you guys check out that entry, that entrance
oh my
of
God.
Kristaps coming into the
Yes.
Garden? So electric. And fun fact, for those that don't know how he got the nickname, the unicorn, it was Kevin Durant who nicknamed that in his rookie year of the New York Knicks because he's such a unique, talented athlete. And here
you
he
gotta
is.
love the detail here too. There's a Zaken
That's right.
behind him. I mean, he's got a very Godzilla look here, looking over the city.
Most importantly, can we just talk about the fact that we have a player on our team who has his own emoji?
So
Like, this
cool.
is his emoji,
We love that.
right?
We love that.
No
Well,
one else on the team has that.
That's right.
Kristaps Porzingis. That was
Bring that energy tonight,
hell of a game
Kristaps.
on
We're so
Thursday.
excited. Well, game 2 tonight. We need to bring the energy.
Let's
we need
go.
to be as loud as we can be. You guys heard JB. We need the Garden to be
Take it to another
loud.
level
Let's take it to
tonight.
another level. Let's show them what Celtics Nation is about.
That's right. We know Mel's gonna do her part. All
That's
the fans.
right.
Time to do our part
As
now.
always.
Let's go.
As
Good
well.
job, Mel.
All right, in the paint, I feel like I just raced you to the board because we're going to break down some X's and O's, Mark.
As long as we both made it here safely. Yeah, this is
true.
our impersonation of Kenny the Jet,
Sure.
Tim Legler, whoever you want to say. We're going to dive in and take a pretty good look and a deep look at what Jaylen Brown did on defense for this particular possession of Game 1. So as we see here, the one thing I want to point out before we even roll this clip, where is Jaylen Brown on this play? He is down here in the bottom left corner of the court, defending Maxi Kleber. And as you see, the ball is up here in the top right of the screen with Luka Doncic having the ball in his hand. So John, our director, if you could roll this a little bit, we'll see that Jaylen Brown crashes in here, and pause it, thank you. Derrick Jones Jr. cuts down the center of the lane for what was an alley-oop attempt from Luka Doncic. He comes in with help defense and breaks that up. That's just the start of this play. We all know Luka Doncic loves to toss alley-oops to his teammates. Not that one. Jaylen Brown crashes in, takes it away. So if we roll this forward, we're going to see that Jaylen Brown continues to play defense. And pause it here. Jaylen Brown is actually assigned right now to P.J. Washington at the top of the screen. So P.J. Washington is up here, yet where's Jaylen Brown? Still in help defense there, yet again on Derrick Jones Jr. So Tim Hardaway Jr. passes him the ball. Derrick Jones Jr., a former dunk contest champion, goes up and attempts to throw it down. Jaylen comes off, He's there for help defense yet again. And look at this denial at the rim. Jaylen Brown, the rim protector. I don't think we've ever called him that in his career, but twice on one play. And as we can see if we roll it, watch the team pop off the bench. The crowd, everyone in the crowd stands up, and this is when the Celtics start to feel like they've got control of this game.
And he does that twice against a guy whose nickname is Airplane Mode.
Yeah, and he won a dunk contest,
I mean,
right? Or at least he was in
one.
Yes.
I mean, he can jump out of the gym, and Jaylen Brown, I love what you say, protecting the rim. We talked about Porzingis coming back and how he's a great rim protector, and he was 3 blocks in the first quarter. But everybody's getting in on the action. And why did Tim Hardaway have to pass? Because Horford contested a shot, and then JB picks up after that.
Jaylen Brown, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Don't know if he's ever done that in his career, and he did it in Game 1 of the NBA Finals as he scored 22 points. He is a two-way player. He is an all-NBA caliber two-way player. Doesn't matter if he got the nod this year.
Yeah.
We all know that's what he is.
He is one of the best defensive players in the NBA. And if you like defense and you like statistics, Snow Time is next.
It's time to toast the NBA Finals.
This is where legends are made.
Because a new era of greatness is on display. The Dallas Mavericks' dynamic combination of Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic made them the best in the West. The powerful duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown made the mighty Celtics beasts of the East. 2 teams giving it their all. Here's to the NBA Finals.
Not going to make the same joke about how it's colder in the studio now that an abominable snowman has joined us, but my heart is feeling warm because Taylor Snow.
Well, my hands are feeling cold, so I'm not going to lie. It's kind of chilly in the studio.
Yeah,
What do you got, Taylor?
No more cold jokes. It's time for some cold, hard numbers, though.
Yeah.
So the number of the day on this 9th of June is the number 9.
Okay.
That is the number of assists that Dallas had in Game 1.
Not very good.
Not very many assists.
Not a lot of assists, no.
Good for us. Not
That is the fewest number of assists in any game, regular season or postseason, in the last 2+ years.
As we see here.
Yes. Only 3 times since 1966 has a team had fewer than 10 assists in a finals game.
It's crazy. It's
Now,
crazy.
Jason Kidd was asked about this after the game, and he said he attributed that to Boston's individual defense. And like Jason Tatum said, nobody hides on defense with the Celtics team.
Yeah.
And another indicator of that is Dallas's assist percentage was just 25.7%. That is the lowest in any game in more than 7 years. So that's more than 10,000
Wait,
games.
for them or?
For any team.
For any team?
Yes, over 10,000 games have been played during that span. That's the lowest.
Goodness gracious.
It's the lowest in the finals game since 1966. The defending team in that game was the Celtics
All
as well.
right.
Yeah.
There's a trend here.
Yes, there is.
Making a habit of it. I think 9 blocks for the Celtics, 9 assists for the Mavericks. First time that's happened in a finals game since '99, I think.
And they had a negative assist to turnover ratio. They had more turnovers in the game than they did assists. As we said earlier, I think they're going to make more shots tonight.
Right.
But in general, the defense was incredible.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I've heard a couple times like, oh, if they made shots, they'd have more assists, obviously. But they didn't even pass the ball that much.
Yeah,
as
that's
we
true.
talked about earlier.
Yep.
Everyone's
Yep.
staying at home for the Celtics, which is a good strategy.
Yep.
Speaking of that great individual defense, Jrue Holiday helped spearhead that. I don't know if you can see Jrue Holiday's.
Oh yeah, what is his rating there?
It's a pretty good defensive rating there.
Yeah.
That's about what it looked like in Game 1. Now,
The bar should be going through
yes,
the
it
edge.
should be totally green. So he was asked before Game 1, what's the key to slowing down Kyrie Irving? He gave a one-word answer. He said,
Pray.
Yes, pray. Well, his prayers were answered because Jrue guarded Kyrie on 41.1% of Kyrie's possessions when he was on the court, held him to just 4 points during that span. That's
ridiculous.
One of the best offensive players in the world. They held to 4 points. So
many people consider him to be the most skilled basketball player ever.
Yep. So
We
4
saw the
points.
skills on display sometimes, right? When that play in the corner,
Yep.
when Horford was defending him. But we were talking earlier, and it's like, I wish we had 2 Jrue Holidays, right? Because he's so good on Luka and he's so good on Kyrie.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, we kind of do.
Yeah, that
2
is
all
true.
defensive guys in the backcourt and a bunch of other great defenders.
Hopefully, Jrue gets his prayers in again tonight. I'll be praying for a repeat result as well. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can go into Dallas up 2-0.
I'm just praying for you to come back with another snow time on our next show because this is amazing.
Yeah.
The stats man himself.
And Taylor will be in Dallas, so it's going to be snowing in Texas in June.
It'll be 95 degrees snowing.
Pretty incredible.
I wish I was as funny as you guys.
Taylor, good stuff, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you.
Let's stick with the meteorology and go to tonight's forecast. So in tonight's forecast, looking ahead to this game 2. After the Celtics dominated for most of game 1, I personally expect the Mavericks to come out pretty fiery, right? Don't expect them to roll over like they did in the first quarter of game 1. I expect Kyrie to make some more shots, but ultimately, I think the Celtics proved in game 1 that they have enough guys to throw at Kyrie and Luka, and they are the better and deeper overall team.
And what I expect from these guys tonight is to take care of the ball at a higher level. I think they had 14 turnovers or 15 turnovers during game 1. They're going to protect the ball better. This is the Celtics, obviously.
Yeah.
And I feel like their best player, Jason Tatum, who was a 3-time All-NBA first-team player, is going to play at a higher level from a shooting perspective as well.
Right.
So, we saw a great performance from the Celtics in game 1, but I believe that they're only going to get better from here. Maybe not their defense. Their defense was exceptional during game 1, but if they can maintain that or even just get close to it and then have those other categories improve, that's a tough team to beat when they're playing at that level.
Yeah, keep in mind, Jaylen Brown, the team's leading scorer with 22 points, and the Celtics finished with 107. It's a testament to the team effort. I think first team in NBA Finals history to have 7 players hit multiple three-pointers. I mean, their depth was on display. And, of course, you mentioned the defense. Jrue Holiday on Kyrie Irving. Oof. That's the answer, and I don't know if Dallas has a response to that. And the great thing about Holiday is he doesn't just guard Kyrie, he guards Luka. I mean, when that lead got down to 8 in the third, Holiday takes on the assignment and says, let me take Luka. And after that, the Celtics scored 14 points in a row. Jrue Holiday is such a weapon on both ends of the floor. And I think in a lot of ways, he's the team's leader, even without having to say a whole lot.
Yeah, no question about it. He's been here. He's done that. He has won an NBA championship. And obviously, Kyrie has done the exact same thing on the other side. But the reason why I think Jrue matches up so well with Kyrie, and listen, Kyrie's going to play better. He's one of the most skilled players in the history of the NBA. He's going to make more shots. But it's the same thing with defending Luka. You just got to make life difficult. And Jrue is so agile from side to side. He's so smart in being able to anticipate what a player like Kyrie Irving is going to try to do with the ball, where he's going to try to get to. Jrue is so agile and smart that he can beat him to those spots and at least stay in front of him. And when you stay in front of the guy, you're going to make life difficult when he actually tries to attempt that shot. So Jrue just continues to be everything that the Celtics wanted when they acquired him. And if he continues to play at this level, just like the rest of the guys, again, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
And if Kyrie does manage to get by him, if he gets to the rim, guess who's waiting? Kristaps, Al, and noted rim protector Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal. Lots of rim protectors back there.
The Celtics were fantastic in Game 1. Hopefully we see more of the same tonight in Game 2. Thanks for watching Celtics Today, everybody.
Yes, we'll see you next time.
Make it loud.
Level up tonight at TD Garden if you're going to be there, folks. We need it.
Enjoy the game. We'll see you.